video, we're going to be going back to the basics. You've probably learned about and maybe even made a color wheel back in like 3rd or 4th grade. It's one of the most basic ways to understand color, but it is really important to understand it. So we're going to go back and review some things. The first thing that you have when you start to make a color wheel are the primary colors. You've got red, blue, and yellow. And these primary colors are where we derive all the other colors in the color wheel from. Now there are things that are not necessarily considered colors. They're called achromatics, and those are white, black, and grays that fall in between them. We'll be talking about those more later, but for now, kind of set them aside. We will use them like color when we're designing, but when we're talking about the color wheel, we're really just talking about those color hues that you're familiar with. So once you have red, blue, and yellow, you can start to make more colors. When you combine these together, you get what are called the secondary colors. When you combine red and yellow, you get orange. When you combine red and blue, you get purple. And of course, when you combine yellow and blue, you get green. These secondary colors help to fill out the color wheel, and they give us the 6 basic colors. Now I know, when you were a kid, they told you there were 7 colors of the rainbow. Well, for our purposes, there aren't. There's only 6. The 7 color thing is thanks to Isaac Newton and how he wanted to align his color theory with his musical theory with 7 notes on the scale. Much to the confusion of 6-year-olds everywhere who don't understand what indigo is and how it's different than blue. So we're going to work with these 6 basic colors. And then when you further start combining these, we get what are called the tertiary colors. And there are 6 tertiary colors. They have really exciting names, things like yellow-orange, red-orange, and yellow-green. Okay, they're not that exciting, and people have come up with a lot more exciting names for different types of colors, but there isn't a lot of cohesion around each of those. So for our purposes, it's easier just to refer to them as the things that combine them, things like yellow-orange. Now you can continue to do this to infinity. This is why Isaac Newton was able to make 7 colors to begin with, is because the rainbow is actually a spectrum, and a spectrum can be infinitely divided into smaller and smaller parts. So you could continue on to make more and more colors out of these, but often color theory is taught using just these 12 colors, and so that's what we're going to stick with for now. The last thing that you really need to know about the color wheel is that you can divide the color wheel into warm colors and cool colors. Warm colors tend to have more energy, cool colors tend to be more calming, so it's just good to kind of keep that in mind. Now that we've really kind of fleshed out the color wheel here, we're going to go ahead and in the next video, we're going to start moving on to a little bit more advanced topics, and we're going to start talking about hues, tints, shades, and tones.